Hey everybody, today I'm wearing these medals because they represent a time in my life when I worked hard to get something, to change or to prove that I could do something. For example, the first half marathon I did, the first marathon I did in Raleigh, and then the recent marathon in Kobe. And this medal particularly is very beautiful, I think. Behind me too, is some other things that I've gotten over the years. This stuff is just toys and stuff, but this here is from friends or from the army. Very important moments in my life, and it's a bit out of frame, but that's a racing bib from the recent marathon. My other racing bibs are at home, but all of these things are tangible things that I can touch. But when I'm out there in the real world, these kinds of things don't come with me, at least not in the same way. The ways that we change as people are not tangible. It's very unseen. It's very unnoticed. In that same way, it's not the medals that actually matter. It's the journey up to getting the thing that matters, the process of getting to that point. That's where you actually grow, and that's what actually matters. And that thing doesn't get a medal. So it's kind of interesting that we really care so much about this final product, this final thing, the day of the event, when actually it's what leading up to it is what matters. These moments in my life are very important, no doubt, specifically my time in the army. There's so many different bridging points in our lives. For me, all these things represent decisions I made at different crossroads. Even within these crossroads, there's chance, luck, and the universe conspiring to get you somewhere you can't even see yet. I know that these events have changed me, and yet, in my day-to-day life, it's business as usual. People don't treat you as if they know what's on your trophy wall or the things that you've been through. And I myself don't want to carry myself in a way that suggests that the world owes me something, or that I'm arrogant. But I'm also learning that having a quiet confidence in yourself, your abilities, and who you are isn't being arrogant or overconfident. It's simply having self-respect and self-esteem. Speaking of, self-efficacy and self-respect are the two main components of self-esteem. So in that way, I'm challenging myself today by showing you these things. I'm letting myself know that these parts of my life matter, and that I can carry them with me outside of this room as well. Now on to the actual marathon, which is the point of the video here. The Kobe Marathon, well, I signed up for the marathon and I wasn't really sure why I was doing it, other than to experience doing a marathon in Japan. And it wasn't about if I could do it. I already proven I could do it, so then why, right? In training, I convinced myself it was about achieving a better time, getting under 4 hours. And then, as I trained diligently, sacrificing my time to do these long runs, and then all the prep work and the race week and race day, my answer started to shift more and more. And because my training was so loosey-goosey this time, I was really worried if I could even do this at all. And I was fortunate enough that my buddy Reese came to help me prepare and meet me after the race. And it's a small thing, but I think it was a really big factor in actually completing the race. Initially, I started the race on a decent pace, not pushing too hard, but as the sun got hotter and the kilometers dragged on, I started running very hot, very early. So not even halfway through, my heart rate was like really high. At that point, I knew that I was not properly prepared, but I also thought, well, fuck it. Because what else could I do at that point? I was already running the marathon as best as I could in that moment. So I just made the decision right there. I will keep this pace as far as I can go. My body will have to give up because I was not going to. And after the halfway point, I was actually on pace to beat my time, just barely, by a few minutes. But I knew I was not on a sustainable pace. Even so, I maintained my earlier decision. My heart rate was around 160 plus, 170 plus, even 180 plus at times for the next half of the race, which is actually really insane. I believe around 30K was when my body really started to shut down. My pace decreased by a whole minute, and was continuing to drop. I felt cramps throughout my stomach, back, and shoulders, my legs as well. And speaking of my legs, anytime I stopped or moved too fast, my body would just like seize up. It was actually really funny how shitty I felt, and comical how I just kind of stopped. Like I could not control my body. I remember a time when I got annoyed at people because when I had to stop for water, they would like stop directly right in front of me and just get in my way, and I couldn't control my body, so I just end up tumbling into them, and I just had to like say sorry and just keep going. My mind was definitely all over the place, but eventually when I got to just 5 kilometers left, the 4-hour pacer finally caught up with me. And so I was like, fuck, I gotta try, right? So I did, and I kept up with him for 2 kilometers before bonking even harder. My pace slowed down by another 2 minutes or so, and every time I tried going faster, my body would seize up. So at that point, those last 3 kilometers, I was just simply trying to finish the race. And I ended up finishing at 4 hours and 8 minutes. And honestly, that was the most I've ever pushed myself physically by myself in my entire life. Doing an event by yourself like that is pretty insane. And in that way, it was definitely a success. If you look at it from the standpoint of my goal, which was 4 hours, I failed. But I really don't care. At the end of the day, I finished the marathon and absolutely put it all on the line. There was nothing left to give. As far as the Kobe Marathon experience went, it was incredibly well organized. There were so many people cheering throughout the entire race. Gambare, faito, toka. And it was really endearing for most of the race, but by the end of it, I did not want to hear it. I was just getting so annoyed at everything. I'd went through a real crisis after the marathon, because it's like, what now? I wrestled with that for weeks and honestly months, and I started to fully rest and just do whatever I wanted each day. Some of those days were fun and necessary, but as I continued to procrastinate, I was just thinking more and more, and that nudge came. The nudge is something I call your inner voice that pushes me to do the right things. And as I started to journal again, my thoughts would pour onto the page, and it became actually really simple. I was over-isolating, I wasn't taking care of myself, and I was moving with no purpose in my mind. And then for about a week, I got sick, and it's a guy getting like a cold is like hilarious, because there's this meme of guys getting sick versus girls. I'll put on the screen, but it's so true. I was fucked, and it was just such a small sickness. Well, anyway, I came out of that, and then it was the new year, right? So I started making small moves to change. I bought a bike so I could get down my big-ass hill faster, get groceries, and bike to work and back so that every time I go to work, I get a little bit of exercise too. I also started to hang out with my friends more and more, or just go out and meet people. And then as I started to tell my friends my new goals, with each person I told, it was like power returning. I remember catching myself saying that, well, you're the third person I told, so I guess this isn't hypothetical anymore. So with each person I told, I felt more accountable. And this, for me, is a lesson about living honestly with yourself, the world, and just others. And I've really noticed that recently. Every small action I took into what I felt was the right path for me, through that nudge in my head, things just continued to get better. That's not to say that it's that simple, but sometimes it is. 3 main things arise from talking to my friends. The first one was to put my time into people, really go out of my way to spend time with people more, being present, and taking interest in people's lives the way I used to do. And for example, I stopped caring who reached out to me first, who didn't talk to me. I'm reaching out to others every day, and now regularly hang out with people each week. And finally, for the first time in my life, since coming to Japan, I feel like I made the right choice. The past me wasn't on some bullshit. Japan is actually where I belong right now. And so my second goal is to really give it my all with studying Japanese. I'm working on slowly shifting as many things as possible into Japanese for the sake of immersion. When I watch TV, play games, listen to music, read, it'll be in Japanese. That's not to say there are times where I won't do things in English. Even now, I still do things in English. It's about being more purposeful with my time. For example, I now, on my way home from work, listen to a Japanese conversation or Japanese video of just someone talking in Japanese. And that's about 20 minutes every day that I get, at least. It's really important to me to reach a point with Japanese that I not only feel confident in what I'm saying, that I feel like I can express myself clearly. I also want to be able to understand clearly the situations and conversations I'm a part of, and to have a long conversation in Japanese. That is my goal. My third goal is to pursue my creative hobbies with more passion. It's no secret that I am not consistent with uploading videos on this channel. I flip-flop on the type of content and the schedule, but throughout these different iterations, I've learned a lot, and I've also found that, yeah, I really do love making videos. All of these kinds, the simple vlogs, the more edited narratives, the anime, the video games, it's all me. And I know this style isn't marketable, but every time I fish for views, I lose a part of myself. For the first time in my life, it feels like I finally can breathe. I don't have to make videos. I don't have to chase fame. I don't have to try to please others or appease my ego. So now, in this place, I believe taking my time, making videos I feel proud of, regardless of their popularity, is exactly where I want to be. So I'm going to end this video by sharing a song that is really dear to me and expresses my journey so far in Japan and the feelings that I've had. This is Wind by Akaboshi. This song touches my heart and connects me to how I feel about my life and my journey. And I'm going to talk about the chorus, and then I'll end the video with the full song. Don't try to live so wise. Don't cry, because it's all right. Don't dry with fakes or fears, because you will hate yourself in the end. This chorus, for me, is about how, firstly, I'm always trying to live so wise, thinking I know the way, but in reality, no one knows the way for everyone. It's different for everyone. And it doesn't mean I can't share or try to help or inspire, but each person is responsible for their own action. Secondly, with this line, if you think you know something, you miss the opportunity to learn. You're not actually listening. So it's about balance. Don't try so hard to be right, to be perfect. The second line, don't cry, because it's all right, for me, is about remaining in despair. Feel these emotions, understand them, and then pull yourself out and keep going. You have to think, what is the next action? Don't dry with fakes or fears. Don't pull yourself up by temporary fixes or dopamine mining. Don't chase things of the world that won't last. Which really leads perfectly into the last line, because you will hate yourself in the end. If you continue to move through life with band-aid solutions, with ignoring the nudge, the inner voice that wants to help you, or to live in fear of rejection, failure, or others, then you will only end up hurting yourself, hating yourself. And this is how I interpret Wind by Akaboshi. And as I've been investing more time into people, my friends, family, and teaching, everyone has so many interesting perspectives about life. We all share a love for this world that's expressed in many different ways. And that love is really spreading to me. I feel so much more alive, even if it's just a little bit. I feel like my smile is returning, and that everyone working so hard just inspires me, just like in this song. So, once again, thank you for being here, for being a part of my journey and story. Please relax and listen to Akaboshi's song with your full attention. Thank you for watching.
Don't try to live so wise. Don't cry cause you're so right. Don't try with fake so fierce, cause you will hate yourself in the end. Don't try to live so wise. Don't cry cause you're so right. Don't try with fake so fierce, cause you will hate yourself in the end. 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 Cause you will hate yourself in the end.